Hey guys, it's your favorite manic depressive dream girl, and today I'm going to show you how to do this nice smoky pink glam for Valentine's Day. Okay, so because my face is being a little bit touchy today, we're going to use a primer. And the primer we're going to use is the Milk HydroGrip primer. I've heard a lot of good things about this one, haven't tried it yet, so here we go. Fingers. Well, there is a smell to this primer that I'm not a fan of. But it does feel nice and sticky, so that's good. Just a little bit more for the forehead. So with Valentine's Day coming up, I'm excited. Not because I have any special Valentine's Day plans, but because my birthday is 2 days afterwards. And that means this entire month is about me. The foundation we're going to use today is the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Luminous Matte Foundation in shade 8B Vanilla. I'm going to spritz some of this on my hand. And this is a full coverage foundation. So it's not going to be a light cover today. We're going to go full on. Got my handy brush. This is the Morphe E63. It's a foundation brush. This one's really nice. Pick up some of this. And when I say full coverage, I mean full coverage. This is going to cover up any blemishes, any darkness, any redness. Look at this right there. Woo! She is covered. Look at this. I don't always do full coverage. I like having a little bit of my skin being able to seep through sometimes, but sometimes, especially when you're gonna go full glam, sometimes you just need full coverage, and sometimes you really just want that nice full coverage. And notice how I'm using the brush downward. That's so any of those little baby hairs that we all have on our faces, or if you don't, that's awesome. Those baby hairs will go down instead of being poking up. We don't want them poking out. I don't want to use too much. Oh my goodness. So, tell me in the comments what you like to do for Valentine's Day. Whether you go out with that special someone, or if you do something by yourself. We call it Singles Awareness Day. You just ignore the whole thing. Tell me what you like to do. So now that we've got our foundation on, we're going to move on to concealer. A little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit in the corner here where we have some darkness. I'm going to let that sit for a second. We're going to use the Morphe M224 just to work this in. Remember, we're going full coverage today. I'm going to pat this in to the skin and then work it in. I have a little bit of darkness up here, so I like to use my concealer up into that inner corner. Okay, now that we're concealed, we're going to go in with this nice fluffy brush here. It's another Morphe brush into the Beauty Bakerie Flour Setting Powder. And we're just going to take a little bit of this powder, just the tiniest amount, and set under our eyes, right here. We're not baking today, not making any cookies. We're just giving it enough powder so that it won't crease. Okay, now that our under eyes are set, I am going to go ahead and I don't think I need any other concealer today because of this foundation, so that's great. I'm going to go ahead and set the rest of my face with powder. Using the same powder. Using this nice, just fluffy brush. I like using fluffy brushes, they just make me happy. I'm going to go ahead and just tap that all over. Okay, now that our face is set, we're going to go ahead and move on to eyes, and we'll come back to the face a little bit later. So we're going to go with a nice smoky pink and black look. We're not going to do anything too crazy, but we are going full glam here. So to start, I'm going to grab my P. Louise eye base. I don't like using as much of this as the other YouTubers on here like to use. I like just using a little bit of it on my finger, like about that much. And I'm using a white base so that the eyeshadow will show up stronger. I'm just going to tap it in with my finger. Using a lighter base or even just a pure white base like this one will get those pigmented shadows just a little bit of a boost and help them show up even more. While I wait for my eye base to set, I'm going to go ahead and do my brows. I'm going to use my trusty IT Cosmetics Brow Power Universal Taupe Brow Pencil. Just going to brush those hairs. Now that we have our brows done, we're going to move on to the fun part, the eyeshadow. I'm going to grab my Morphe James Charles palette, and we're going to be using 2 shades out of this. We're going to be using 2 shades out of this. We're going to be using 2 shades out of this. We're going to be using Spooky and Skip, this pink one down here. Spooky is a nice black, it's a nice matte black, and Skip is the prettiest matte pink I have ever seen in my life. It's Valentine's Day. We're going to go pink today. I'm going to grab a Morphe brush. This one is a thinner, fluffy brush, so it's not as rounded, it's more flat on the edge. I'm going to go straight into that shade Spooky and just tap off the excess powder and go right on the inner corner, or the outer corner, outer edge. And we're just going to go nice and slow and build up this black. A little bit more. Notice how I'm tapping, not swiping. Grab a little bit of that on the edge and go straight into that crease. And now I'm going to start to move that black into the crease. Just like that. And a little bit more. Grab a little bit more of that and go right back into that little corner where there's a little bit of a gap. Okay, Now that we've got the black on, we're going to move on to the pink. Now I'm going to grab my Morphe M124. I'm going to go into Skip and just pack that color on, right on the lid where there's no color. Blend that a little bit into that black. Told you we were going glam today. Okay. And now that that's all blended, I'm gonna grab the ColourPop Super Shock Shadow in shade Roy G. Biv. Nice pink shimmer, glitter, and use my finger. Swipe that around and put this right on top of that peak. Just to give it a nice shimmer. Look at that. She's pretty. Going back with just what's left on this brush, the black, I'm just gonna come under here and just fill that in. Smudge this out a little. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do my other eye, add some liner and some lashes, and I'll be right back. What, baby? Yeah? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, really? I love you. Now that we've got our liner and our mascara and our lashes on, we're gonna go ahead and do the rest of the face. So since we're going full glam, we're gonna go contour, blush, the whole 9 yards with a little bit of highlighter. To contour, I'm gonna use the NYX Professional Makeup Highlight and Contour Pro palette. And I'm gonna be using this shade right here. Use my favorite contour brush. It's a Morphe brush, it's pointed. You can see the point there. And pick that up and go right under the cheekbone. Just to give a nice little bit of a shadow. There. And then we're going to take that contour and go down this jawline. And then do the same thing on the other side. Okay, and then a little bit up here on the forehead, just a tiny bit. So after we have our contour on, we're gonna go in with blush. I'm gonna use the Beauty Bay Nikkie Tutorials Pressed Pigment palette. I really like the shade Zomer for blush. It's a really, really beautiful coral. And with another Morphe brush, just right on that cheekbone. Just a nice little wash of color. And then for highlight, I'm going to go in with the NYX Professional Strobe of Genius palette. If I can open it. We're just going to go into this lightest shade right here. Take a little bit on my finger and just a little bit. We don't want to have a blinding highlight today. Some days, but not every day. Okay, now that we've got our highlighter on, the last thing to do is lips. I'm gonna use the MAC Lip Glass in Make Mine Metal. I think this was a holiday edition. And there you have it. That's the completed look. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, make sure to give the like button a smash. Hit that subscribe button so that you can see more videos like this. Thanks for watching.